Rhoda, can I ask you just for that? Yeah, I suppose. Hello, everybody. Just thank you so much for making the effort to come out on this Thursday evening. It's lovely to see so many familiar faces, and equally a delight to see those that are not so familiar. So perhaps we're growing, which is the big hope. Now, I'm going to allow Robert to introduce our very lovely speaker this evening, and with a few words from from the poet, Paul Durkin, we are going to cherry pick for just a few lines.
And embarrass this woman. So here we go. It's from a poem, The Azores High. It's Paul Durkin. It's only the first 10 lines or so don't worry.
It's not.
The women who present the weather forecast on Irish TV, Jean Byrne, Evelyn Cusack, Siobhan Ryan, Nuala Carey, are the modern-day successors to the music hall cabaret singers of the late 19th century. Sorry. Whom we see in the paintings of Manet, Seekert, Degas, the top echelon in Paris and London. The doyenne of them is all, without question. No, I was kind of liking that. Doyenne. The doyenne of them all is without question Jean Byrne, although Siobhan Ryan in a short-sleeved scarlet frock gives Jean Byrne a close run for starry mystique. Her deep-sea, coming up for air disclosures. Her swiveling in profile to camera, closing shot technique. Her pigtail drooling down one bare left shoulder. I'll stop there. Really gets quite intimate and gives you the real.
Well, first of all, a very warm welcome to this New Collections launch night. I was going to say, you may or may not recognise me from your evening weather bulletins or from the sleep-sounding sea area forecast on the radio airwaves. But either way, I'm Siobhan from the weather. Now, I know the relationship between meteorology and weather, or between meteorology and art, seems like a tenuous one. But art history is littered, and I mean that in the best possible sense, with illustrations of weather. In fact, art even documents the weather. Now, we all remember the ash clouds back in 2010 from that unpronounceable volcano in Iceland. Well, scientists have found similar reason to marvel at the paintings of Turner as he accurately recorded the chemicals in the air from a similar eruption back in 1815. Now, of course, it all worked in his favour, as these tiny particles helped scatter the sunlight into even more brilliant and even more bold sunrises and sunsets. And of course, our very own Paul Henry, who had a knack of making the bleak beautiful, and who, as he matured, focused in on the billowing cloud formations, particularly the cumulus congestus, which as it towered into approaching near cumulonimbus cloud. Now, it's not just the past, but it's the present. As I see references to weather here around me, some subtle but mesmerising, capturing a particular light and hue, and to others, clear as day in some ways, once you're told what exactly it is you're looking at. Now, my own relationship with art started off as more of an investment. My SSIA was burning a hole in my pocket. As they say, you have to speculate to accumulate. Now, thankfully, I still adore that first painting I bought, but what I have since learned is that the real value in art is in how much you love it. And I have an even fuller appreciation what it is artists do after trying it myself, with very mixed results. My most recent painting and my only painting, has pride of place in my parents' attic. I'm ashamed to say that the best part is my signature. So that's my bit of art history. So after all this, it goes without saying, I was very chuffed when I saw the window gallery open its doors here in Rathmines. Really, it's a very special gallery. It brings a sense of community and art, and it's where you get to feel at home surrounded by art. And it's the warm, friendly, lively discourse that accompanies a casual browse or a considered purchase that's an added extra. The collection of ceramics, paintings and sculpture are all exquisite, and I forecast plenty of new finds from my burgeoning collection. In fact, I'm off to a wedding this weekend, and I have my eye on one particular piece, and for once it has no influence whatsoever with weather, my THs out there. So what I'm really saying is you don't need to splash out all your SSIA, but you can if you want to, I'm quite sure. Most of all, this gallery adds a richness to my beloved Rathmines. Finally, I'd like to salute the one canvas we all share, and that's the sky above, ever shifting, ever changing, ever delightful, and just like art, the gift that keeps on giving. I can't promise you a fine summer, but I can promise you the surrounds of some very fine art, some very fine wine, and a very fine evening. Thank you. Thank you. I meant to say at the beginning, I don't use a teleprompter or auto cue, but this isn't my speciality subject, so I felt safer having these in front of me.
It's lovely. Thank you very much again, Siobhan.